This is Dr. Kemi Olunlayo, and this is Kemi Talks for May 29th, 2019 in Nigeria. Today, I'm going to be talking about domestic violence in the case of Derry Ogbonna and Bimbo, his wife. Many of you read on Instablog Nigeria yesterday. You saw pictures, and it said that Derry beat his wife to a coma, and she had to be revived, and that she's pregnant, and the baby has to be removed by C-section that's already scheduled. The story was very sensitive to me. I left a comment and I said there's always three sides to the story: the black, the white, and the gray in between. Ironically, I know Derry Ogbonna. Some of you know him as IVD on social media. IVD001, I believe that's his handle, but IVD happens to be someone I know well on social media. He's a young man in his 30s, and he's one of my biggest fans. When I say biggest fans, a lot of these biggest fans, you've never met them, but they praise your good work. You know me, I'm not a fan of praises, but Derry will come in my DM and say, Auntie Kemi, how are you? Thank you for what you do in Nigeria. And, I like his line because he always says it like that. Thank you for what you do for the youth. Thank you for what you do in Nigeria. At the end of the day, it was him on that Instablog story. I sent him a message on DM and I called him in his office because I have his number. I told him that I'll be in Lagos sometimes and I'll stop in to see him. This is what we do in Canada. We have a social media group where we have once a year, we have social media parties. All your friends on Facebook, they show up at a club. We have fun. All your Instagram friends, So I said, let me just stop by and see him in his office when I go to Lagos. I went to the U.S. Embassy to get my son's passport, and coming back to my hotel in Ikeja, it was like, if I didn't leave that island at a certain time, I would not leave for 6 hours and be caught in traffic. So I called him. I said, IVD, how are you? We just finished at the embassy. Where are you? And he said, the office is in Aja. I'm like, oh my God, by the time we get there, leave, and you never know, we might be stuck in this island. So I never got the chance to see him when I went to Lagos. However, for the good young man I think he is, I was shocked to see all this. So I wanted to investigate it. Now, you guys know I'm on his sick bed. And it's like, I don't work anymore as a journalist. And even when I was a journalist, these are the kind of stories I don't really get into. Marriage, relationships, and all that. So I have always said that if you have a domestic violence situation, I don't want to see your photos on Instablog Nigeria. Leave that marriage, okay? Because it happened to me. My second child is almost 28 now. I was beaten up 9 months pregnant. They had to induce labor and remove my baby because my temperature went high over 100 and save the baby's life. At the end of the day, everyone, knows that this is not a new story. But when I saw the coma, I had to call. I wanted to talk to IVD's wife, but the story said she was in a coma, and I wanted to hear all sides of the story. Luckily for me, IVD's sister-in-law, who narrated part of the story on Instablog, contacted me as well. And me being transparent, I said to her, Shadi, you're a lovely lady. Let me have a shower and I'll sit down and talk to you. I even talked to their mother. That's Shadi's mother, IVD's mother-in-law. I heard all sides of the story. Some people say don't wash your laundry, dirty linen in public, blah, blah, blah. I've never believed in that phrase about washing dirty laundry in public. My thing is, if you have a family problem and it's hurting, speak out. I mean, you saw what happened with me and my dad and, my family and all that, my brothers and sisters. If you don't speak out, you cannot heal from certain pains, okay? However, I know about domestic violence. I'm a victim. I addressed Churchill when Churchill said Tonto was causing harm to herself and he never beat her. We always know that because I had that happen with my ex-fiance too. The story with me and my nose bleeding and they had to induce labor was when I was 27. I'm going to be 55 and I've been single since then. Domestic violence is very shocking. But there were some lies in that story. Should I call them lies or untruth parts? Who sent the story to Instablog? Regardless, okay? That story said another friend, Irene, said IVD has beaten Bimbo 6 times, you know. I heard a lot of different versions, even from people who came in my inbox anonymously who were IVD's friends. Oh, he's beat her, 15 times. I heard everybody's side of the story, and this is what I have to say. I spoke to Derry and I said to Derry, look, we have arguments. Okay, he spoke about his wife being a beautiful woman. I love my wife, 4 children, one on the way. But we do have arguments, and my wife sometimes she's troublesome too. Now I said, Derry, it doesn't matter. You're my son. Okay, my oldest child is 32, and you're also in your 30s. And I gotta tell you that no matter what happens, even if a woman lays the hand on you first, let me tell you, I've slapped men 3 times. The 3 guys I slapped, 2 of them were not even dating me. They were in public. You know, the man at the ATM. Everybody knows about that one in Ibadan. That called me a bastard woman because I spent too much time at the ATM. I'm supposed to be collecting money, but instead I was paying my bills and stuff. People get very edgy, okay? However, if it's husband and wife, my own thing is that if a woman becomes aggressive and lays their hand on the man, we as women are always the victims in the eyes of the police, especially abroad. But sometimes it gets that way. Even if Bimbo laid her hands on you, don't return the blow or anything. So they had that sort of fight. But to beat her into a coma was not true. Bimbo was not in a coma. Bimbo fainted. She passed out. And as a pharmacist and a health educator, I have to tell you that part. The Americans use the word passed out. The British use the word fainted. Okay, we're leaning towards the British. So she fell and she passed out. Sometimes when you pass out, you can actually die, straight up die. So I told Derry, be careful. Your wife is pregnant. Pregnant people are technically fragile. So she's in the hospital. She's doing fine. Okay. She may have a C-section. Okay, done. And the baby's fine. And I asked Derry that he needs to go and get a counselor. Okay. Not just marriage counselor. He needs to go for psychological counseling. Okay. I go for psychotherapy. On this bed, I battle PTSD and I educate people about it. Okay, once a week. Both of them must go to marriage counseling, and he definitely needs to go to a behavioral counselor. We have these things in Nigeria. Okay, he's a very successful auto dealer. He sells luxury cars and he worked hard. And some people say, oh, they're trying to tarnish his image, ruin his business and all. Look at his profile on Instagram. There's a picture there with 4 of his friends. And he says, a lot of times I want to go out with the guys after work, chill out and all that. My wife doesn't like it. I spend too much time outside at night. I don't come home on time. Every marriage has that. Look, I've never been married, but believe it or not, I'm probably one of the best experts in marriage. Hey, Demola, do you hear that? That's Demola at the Punch. Demola that shaded me in a Punch article saying, unmarried Kemi Olunloyo gives Linda Ikeji advice when Linda said she was engaged. And I said, you could be engaged forever like Oprah and never marry. Okay, everybody. I hope you learned something from this Kemi Talks audio. For Derry and Bimbo, stay strong. You guys are in love. Baby's on the way. And make sure I'm at the baby warming party, okay? Because that one, you're flying me to Lagos, okay? In your private jet or one of those, So I want everybody to be happy. Shadi, thank you so much for talking to me. That's the sister-in-law. Mommy, Grandma, I spoke to Bimbo's mother last night. Grandma, stay strong. We'll work this out together. That's just the way it is. It's a family thing. So all you outsiders wishing them breakups and business going under and all that, forget it. The devil is a liar. I love you all. I'm Dr. Kemi Omalolu Olunloyo for Kemi Talks. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Love you, everybody. May 29th, a happy Inauguration Day in Nigeria.